The chamber of the Galactic Council shimmered beneath its vaulted dome of starlight projection. Delegates of hundreds of worlds gathered, their voices blending into a low hum of unease. It was rare for the humans to call for a meeting. It was even rarer for them to arrive in silence. The Terran delegation entered without a word. Their uniforms bore no insignia of peace or unity, only the stark black emblem of Earth Command. For years, humanity had been considered a rising power among the stars, unpredictable yet efficient. They had brought technology, medicine, and energy solutions to civilizations once on the brink of extinction. They had helped stabilize warring factions and even stopped several interstellar conflicts. But to many of the elder species, humanity's swift progress had become a shadow looming over their influence. The Council's presiding officer, a translucent being of light, opened the session. Representatives of Earth, the floor is yours. The lead human, tall, composed, eyes cold as a distant moon, stepped forward. His voice carried without the need of amplification. For the past 50 years, Earth has honored the Accords of Unity. We've contributed to your causes, upheld your treaties, and defended worlds that were not our own. In return, we've been undermined, insulted, and treated as a threat. That ends today. A murmur rippled through the chamber. The delegate from the Thalri Dominion, their tendrils twitching nervously, spoke. You cannot simply withdraw. The Council maintains peace. Your actions would destabilize entire sectors. The humans' gaze turned to them. Peace at the cost of sovereignty is not peace. Cooperation built on manipulation is not unity. He paused, letting the weight of his words settle like a storm. Effective immediately, Earth is severing all diplomatic and trade relations with the Galactic Council. Shock echoed through the assembly. Some shouted objections. Others pleaded for reason. The humans, however, remained unmoved. The lead delegate raised a hand, silencing the uproar. Our fleets are returning home. Our ambassadors will depart from your worlds within the day. Earth will stand alone once more. The declaration shattered centuries of fragile balance. Reports of chaos began flooding the galactic networks within hours. Member worlds panicked, fearing the loss of Terran aid and technology. Star systems that had depended on Earth's logistical networks suddenly faced shortages. The Council's communication hubs buzzed with desperate calls, yet Earth's channels had gone dark. Across the Milky Way, the Terran Armada began to regroup. Thousands of ships, once stationed in defense of foreign worlds, returned to Sol space. Massive orbital platforms aligned above Earth, their structures gleaming like a ring of steel around the blue planet. Humanity was preparing not for war but for withdrawal. But to the rest of the galaxy, the sight of Terran fleets moving in perfect silence was more terrifying than any open aggression. In the Council's headquarters, chaos reigned. The delegates argued endlessly, accusing one another of driving the humans away. They will become isolationist, one shouted. No, countered another. They will strike first. You know how humans are when betrayed. Every voice carried the same undertone, fear. For centuries, the older civilizations had seen themselves as the guardians of order. Yet Earth had reshaped the known galaxy in mere decades. Humanity had faced extinction countless times in their history, and emerged stronger each time. To the Council, it had always been clear. Humans adapted faster than any species they had ever encountered. Weeks passed, and the consequences of Earth's withdrawal began to unfold. Trade collapsed in multiple sectors. Human-built systems, hyperlane relays, orbital defense grids, medical AIs, shut down across dozens of worlds. Entire planetary economies froze overnight. The Council tried to replace Terran infrastructure, but none of their engineers could replicate it. The systems had been designed with quantum lock encryption, accessible only by Earth Command. It was not sabotage, it was policy. Humanity had foreseen the day when trust would fail. Meanwhile, the Sol system transformed. Massive energy collectors bloomed around the sun. Shipyards expanded across the asteroid belt. Mars became a fortress world, and Luna's surface shimmered with defense networks unseen since the Great Wars of old. Earth had gone silent, but it was not idle. When the Council attempted to send envoys, their ships were turned away at the edge of the system. A single message was transmitted back. The Terran Union no longer recognizes the authority of the Galactic Council. The panic deepened. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed Earth had discovered new forms of weaponry. Others whispered that they were building an armada beyond comprehension. The oldest species began to recall the first time they encountered humans. a young, wounded race climbing out of their own ashes, defiant and unyielding. They had underestimated the drive of those who had once survived their own extinction. On the distant world of Dranthus, a council research fleet detected something unusual, a massive energy distortion near the edge of known space. When they approached, they found the remains of a Terran construction site. Vast kilometer-long frameworks hung silent in the void, surrounding what seemed to be an artificial wormhole generator. The humans were not retreating. They were expanding. The report reached the council chamber within hours. Silence fell once more as the images displayed, rings of titanic scale pulsing faintly with blue light, drawing energy from unknown sources. The Terran delegate had once said, "If you close one door on us, we will build another." The council finally understood what that had meant. Earth was cutting ties with the galaxy not to isolate itself but to move beyond it. Within months, Terran broadcasts began to surface across the outer sectors. Simple, clear messages. Humanity no longer serves the council. We chart our own course. The tone was calm, yet the implication was immense. The unity of the galaxy was fracturing. Dozens of younger civilizations, inspired by Earth's defiance, began questioning the council's authority. Revolts broke out on several member worlds. As the council struggled to maintain control, they realized the scale of their mistake. Humanity had not just been a member, they had been the stabilizing force. Their trade, their fleets, their diplomacy, all had been the backbone of the galactic order. Without them, the structure was collapsing. On Earth, leaders gathered in a vast command hall beneath the Terran Defense Headquarters. The atmosphere was calm, methodical. Screens displayed the chaos unfolding across the stars. The lead commander stood before his officers. "They will panic," he said quietly. "They will turn on each other. They always do. We gave them stability, and they mistook it for submission." Another officer asked, "What happens when they come to us again?" The commander's gaze turned toward the holographic map of the galaxy. "They will beg for unity, but we will not return as servants. When humanity walks among the stars again, it will be on our own terms." Years later, when the council finally collapsed under the weight of its own fear, a new signal emerged from deep space. The Terran emblem appeared once more, no longer as a partner but as an independent power. The message was brief and the entire galaxy heard it. "This is Earth Command. The Terran Union stands alone. We do not seek war. We do not seek conquest, but we will never bow again." Every civilization felt the chill of that statement. The universe had learned what happened when humanity decided to act. They were not the most numerous nor the most ancient, yet they were the most relentless. As decades passed, explorers reported Terran colonies appearing beyond known borders. They were building new starways, new alliances among species the Council had ignored. Where others saw danger, humanity saw opportunity. They extended hands not out of need but of choice. And so the galaxy watched as Earth's silence became its loudest statement. The species once dismissed as impulsive and chaotic had reshaped the order of existence through sheer will. The Council's archives would later record the event under one phrase: the severance of Sol. Scholars would debate for centuries whether humanity's withdrawal was an act of rebellion or destiny. But those who had witnessed the day it happened knew the truth. The humans had simply done what they always did: adapted, endured, and advanced. The universe panicked because it understood what came next. When humans were united, when their purpose was clear, nothing in the stars could stop them. And from that day forward, whenever a diplomat or commander whispered the name of Earth, they did so with reverence and fear, for they had learned what it meant when humanity decided to stand alone.